Hello and thank you for joining us on the Tuesday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Benga Oreshegun. Today on the program, IGP urges Nigerians to report police misconducts through official channels rather than social media. NERC orders discos to replace obsolete meters free of charge. And later on the show, President Tinubu approves restructuring of his media and communications team. I'll be hanging out with Emeka Madunagu and Kaidi Ladendi. Journalist Hangout starts right now. Now let's begin the conversation. But before we begin the conversation, I want to say Happy International Men's Day to you. Happy International Men's Day as well. And Happy International Men's Day. Yes, exactly.
Somebody said it's also International Toilet Day.
Yeah, it's also World Toilet Day.
Why did they do that to us?
Well, I don't know. But anyway, let's begin the conversation. Social media has brought a lot of positive changes in the area of communication, but it also has its downsides. The Inspector General of Police, Kaide Egbetokun, has urged Nigerians to refrain from using social media to report misconducts by police officers, but instead direct such complaints to the Police Complaints Response Unit. The IGP emphasized that the use of social media to address grievances often leads to misinformation and undermines the integrity of the police. Egbetokun stressed that such platforms provide a more structured and accountable process for addressing complaints. He acknowledged the role social media plays in shaping public opinion, but warned that unverified information could create false perceptions. All right, let's start. Kaidi Ladendi, I'll start with you. This is not the first time the police IG has been talking about it. When he was the acting IG, he talked about it, that use the Public Complaints Response Unit of the police. But let me ask you, is the police right in this regard?
Structurally speaking, and when you're dealing with how correspondence should be done, definitely is right. But we are looking at what is the impact, which he has also acknowledged. What's the level of response, the kind of response that we have enjoyed from police came from this kind of platform we call social media. So will Nigerians want to trust the channel that he has talked about? It will take some time for Nigerians to do that. So it's a function of what has worked, what is working, and what will make people get justice. It is not gainsaying that when you are dealing with issues like this, if you don't have the wherewithal, if you are not connected, your case is likely, in fact, the complainant can become the culprit at the end of the day. So we have a series of examples like that. And so if the IGP is so sure of himself and sure of his men, but we have had terrible experiences with police, so it might be quite difficult for us to just believe that channel that he has talked about. But legally and structurally speaking, he has said the right thing. But for us to have that trust, it needs to prove it to us. Otherwise, you may not be able to tell people not to expose the corrupt officers' misconduct through the social media. That's my sincere
But you know, if it goes through social media, some might be true or not, but the image of the police has already been tarnished.
That's part of the advantages that traditional core medias do have. We have a way of subjecting these stories to some professional verifications. And when we do that, definitely we're also not going to bring down the story. We have a plethora of examples. You know the story of VDM, you know how things are done. We are dealing with the issue of Bobrisky today, but dealing with issues that ordinarily we would not have heard, not even the media. So not everything is paraded. I'm saying this with a whole sense of responsibility, that why not saying social media is the right means to do it, but we are saying that, hey, prove it to us that we should trust that channel that you have talked about.
Trust deficit
is addressed and well addressed at that matter. Otherwise, trust me, we won't tell people not to expose misconduct.
Okay. Emeka, Police misconduct comes in so many ways. Talk about extortion, talk about human rights abuses. But really, let's start talking about the police. Has the police done, the police, have they been doing enough to reform itself? You talked about trust deficit.
The police as an institution is not interested in reform or transformation.
How do you...
With everything, you go to a police station, you see bail is free. It's on the wall, bail is free. Who has ever got bail free without paying, unless you are highly connected to somebody or the other?
No, but out of every 12, there's a Judas.
No. These things happen in different police stations. Was it not the other day? An activist, Harrison Gwamishu, was talking about how some policemen attached to the AIG command in Yenagoa in Bayelsa State extorted, was it 2 million or 10 million from some youth guys who are going from Warri to Parakot for youth service. Another man again, they extorted 2 million from him. In fact, there was one that was said to have, the man was taken to the market, forced to sell his laptop.
But we can't say there are still some good officers.
No, I'm not condemning.
I wouldn't want us to
the police, an institution.
As an institution.
So too bad that when one finger brings oil, it touches the others. But to the instant matter of the IG talking about social media, I think somebody, maybe the IG is not well briefed about that, what he said. Because the police, just before NSAS, the police set up a police complaint response unit, a CRU, on social media with phone numbers, on X, then Twitter, on Facebook. And they were receiving complaints and, giving reports of this, of the resolution of these complaints. And it's still on social media. As a matter of fact, it says that there's a pin post here of June 10. It says, update. Our attention has been drawn to difficulty in reaching us on our designated phone lines. Consequently, the following numbers have been activated to ease your access. They put the phone numbers, calls only. We appreciate your understanding and cooperation, MPF, CRU. You see, reporting security officers is not something you just do openly. It's something that is discreet. I thought they should have put maybe some short codes. If you want people to report, you just tell them to send short codes, because these things have been done in confidence. Now, there are police officers, there are senior police officers, there are the rank and file who are embarrassed by the conduct of some of their colleagues.
Okay.
I have to say that some are God-fearing, and really they don't tolerate this.
But really, don't you think the social media is a faster way to elicit, the much-needed reform?
That's what I'm saying. This CRU is on social media. It's a handle on social media. The handle is police NG_CRU. It's on X. It's on Facebook. And it receives complaints. As a matter of fact, the latest complaint was 2 days ago, where they said this is noted for necessary action. Somebody said, the first PRO, Prince Olumuyiwa Adejobi, forwarded something to it, a complaint to the FCT command, and then forwarded, to the police complaint unit. And he said, this is noted for necessary action, sir. Now, so what I'm saying is that when the IG talks about social media, you see there are some of these general statements that they mean well, but they are ambiguous. By the totality of statement. Because maybe what he's saying is that Nigeria should not be exposing alleged police misconduct on social media. But how do you promote open government? Nigeria is a signatory to the Open Government Initiative.
Yes.
An Open Government Initiative talks about transparency, accountability, openness. So you see, the thing, instead of telling Nigerians, don't report such things, what you should do, take sterner action against those who are bringing the police to ridicule.
In defense of the police, they do naming and shaming, which I feel like it's really, really important. But what can the police do right now to actually breach
naming and shaming stem out from the social media platform? That's the idea we're saying. That good, I understand the philosophy behind do not depend on social media. Some of these stories are tweaked, some of the stories are fabricated. You don't get to hear the other side. But that's one of the reasons why the core medias are there. to do the
To
necessary
balance, to
pruning,
check,
and we'll call the police attention. The police debunks the one that is not true.
Exactly.
Because we won't do their job for them. It's for them to do their investigation, put the right story to the public. However, I think police should face the reality. We haven't seen yet enough of social media. It has come to stay. Even there is hardly any major traditional media that is not leveraging on social media.
Donald Trump, the president of the most powerful country in the world, he resides on social media.
And his major supporter is even trying to, I'm talking of Elon Musk, he's even trying to buy a media house. So they are intertwined. Police should get ready and face the reality.
All right, gentlemen, let's move straight to our next conversation. While power generation in Nigeria faces several challenges, appropriate